Hey, it's me. Alright, you already saw the title of the video. Whew. It's like 6 in the morning. That Dr. Pepper definitely woke me up. So, I should probably give a statement. A couple statements, actually. First one. I'm filming this on October 8th. So this might not come out on October. I don't know when it's gonna come out. It might come out on like October 30th. It might come out in November. I don't know. So I'm just gonna give a heads up. This is early in my October career. Also, I'm kind of done. I don't want to say I'm kind of done buying manga, but right now I want to buy shelves first because I don't really have that much space left. Like, I just bought the second One Piece box set. That shit's gonna take up another shelf, and then I'll have like 1.5 shelves left. And that's only gonna be for stuff that, and then I already have the Slam Dunk that I just never put on the shelf. It's a whole shit that I haven't done yet. So, I'm gonna buy some new shelves before I buy new manga. Okay? So, there might be some series that I've been recommended to for a while that I'm just probably not gonna buy soon because I need to get my shelves in place first. But I don't think you care about that. I think you care about horror manga. And I have 6 different titles here. Now, each title I feel like represents horror in a kind of a different way than others. Right? I mean, there's some here that it's really not horror. I just put it in there because I want to talk about it. Let me just lay them out here. I think I should go with actual horror first, like an actual horror story. And I would have picked Chainsaw Man or something like that just because of the art. I know it's not really horror, but the art is so gruesome and stuff like that I would have put it at horror. But I haven't read a single volume at all of Chainsaw Man. Or I would have put, I still don't know how to pronounce the name of it. Gluttner? Here, hold on. This shit, I would have put this one in it because I've looked through the volume of manga and it looks disgusting. But I just haven't read it yet, so I probably should have read it for the video. But, hey, I'm a lazy guy, so. But, all this to say, I chose for my, like, just based up horror. Like, this is stuff Jason, Michael Myers, Halloween, Scream, just bloody horror, right? And I picked Hell's Paradise. Now, the story isn't very horrific, I would say. It's really just the art. The art is beautiful, but you got people cutting off hands, people killing other people, like ripping their heads off, like different things like that. And it shows a lot, and I mean a lot of blood. And the art is just so weird and so like, it just makes you look at it and be like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, there are just some panels that's just, yeah, what the fuck even is this? And that's why I put it in the horror genre. Well, it's more just bloody, gory horror. So, you know, Hell's Paradise is more of like a bloody, gory horror, and this is really just the art. But the story is about this guy. I'm not gonna do a Hell's Paradise review right here, but you know, he was used to be an assassin, but now he basically wants to settle down with this one girl. But he can't really do that because he needs, because he needs to be caught up with his past crimes. He committed a lot of crimes. So instead of, doing the death sentence, they order him to go to this island and find this like elixir or potion or berry or something that has eternal life. And apparently it's really hard to find. So they say, if you can find it, all your charges will not be held against you. She's like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I don't got any reason to live anymore if I can't be with her. So then he goes and finds her. or at least tries to find the elixir. That's basically the story. Maybe it changes throughout. Maybe it changes like in the middle. I've only read the first volume, but there's just some shit in the first volume that I'm like, what the fuck is he even doing? Now, the second one I wanna talk about, the second, I guess, genre is more traditional horror. You know, like I don't know, vampires, ghosts, ghouls, devils, you know, people who you see dress up for Halloween, that kind of stuff. And for that, I think you already know where I'm going with this. I picked Soul Eater. In Soul Eater, you know, there's a lot of traditional horror in here. It's not very scary in general, but there's literally a character called Dr. Frankenstein or Mr. Frankenstein or something like that. There's witches, there's literally Frankenstein. There's two cowboys who are like symmetrical. It has a very dark atmosphere, and the character, the art, it has a very dark atmosphere to it, a very dark tint to it. Not like, you know, color-wise, but I'm just saying like feel-wise. It's a very, not a dark story. It's actually pretty lighthearted as a story, but oh my god, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's more traditional than something like Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise has gore, but this story, it gets you into that Halloween spirit. So Soul Eater is like your traditional horror story that you would probably want to take. Now next, let's get into the comedy horror genre, and I've already done a video on this series. I think you already know where I'm going with this. It's Zom 100. Zom 100 is one of the best comedy horrors I've ever seen. Probably the best comedy horror manga I've ever read. And to be honest, there isn't that many. It's basically a zombie apocalypse where the main character just doesn't take it seriously at all. I made an entire video on it and why it's hilarious, but this video is why it's horrifying. And it's just horrifying because the characters will get into a situation where they're doing okay, they're doing fine, and then they get trapped by zombies. And it's scary, but they don't really take it seriously enough for us to think it's scary. You know what I mean? Think of stuff like Shaun of the Dead. I think that's what it's called, right? Shaun of the Dead. That movie, right? They're zombies, but they don't really take it seriously very much. And it's more of a comedy than a zombie movie. Same thing with this. There's zombies, and the zombies look horrifying. Like, that shit looks terrifying. Like, even in the first page, look at those motherfucking zombies, you know? But in general, it's more of a comedy series than horror. So it's more of a horror comedy than just straight out horror. You're not gonna get scared by this, unless you're scared by just the look of zombies, but because the characters don't take it seriously at all. Alright, next, I got 3 series left. They basically all fall under the same category, but it's different kinds of the same category. I'm going to introduce 2. I'm going to introduce 2 at the same time. And this one is horror that's more of, how do I explain it? It's the horror of, or it's the fear of being kidnapped, or claustrophobia, that's what I mean. Where you have no control of what you're doing. That's the fear, really. Like, well, I wouldn't say, well, one of these series is about that. The other one's not really. So the first series, the one that's claustrophobic, I think the fear of claustrophobia is A School Frozen in Time. And the reason I say this is because the main characters, or, they're all trapped in a school. And I guess you could say it's more of a mystery horror, but the second one's more of a mystery horror. This one's more of a prison break horror, because they're all trying to get out the school. They can't, and each of them dies one by one by one. I guess you could call it a slasher too, right? Because there's someone killing these people, and eventually you find out who that is. But I don't know. It's not really horror, I would say. It's more of just a mystery. It's more of a mystery, but I guess that does fall under the horror genre. So I did put it in this list. So if you want like a kind of claustrophobic, kind of mystery, kind kind of slasher. Like, they pick off characters one by one by one. That's what I mean. Like, if you want something like that, then, you know, read A School Frozen in Time. I also did a video on this, but it was really just more about how the ending was shit. Which it was. Alright, next one. I just finished the 3rd volume of it. Holy shit, the series is amazing. Yeah. So, Alice in Borderland, it's the mystery one. And, first off, it has that claustrophobic aspect to it. Like, the art is amazing. The art is beautiful. And it has that claustrophobic attitude, I guess, where more of just, you're on sights of all time. Like, you could die at any time, anywhere. Like, not even in the games can you die. Like, so the series is about this guy named Arisu, I think. Yeah, Arisu. Arisu, and basically he hates his life, and he wishes he could go to another land, and he does. And he goes to this other land, but it sucks. Think of Alice in Wonderland with, like, Dead Man Wonderland. Like, they're playing these death games at night so that they can expand their visa, and their visa is basically how many days they have to live. So if you play a game that's at a 3 difficulty, you have 3 more days to live until you have to play another game. And if you don't play another game, then you die until your visa's up. So that's basically a series in a nutshell. It is so good. Just it's mystery, it's psychological, the art is horrifying, like it's actually kind of terrifying, the art. Like there's some characters, like the last boss, that actually freaked me out. Like it's just unsettling to see him. And some other characters are just, it's pretty a terrifying series to just read. And it will get you at the edge of your seat all the time. Like I remember, I read the first volume while I was eating dinner. I was eating a steak. And I was reading the first volume, and I just couldn't stop reading it. Like, I just finished the entire thing, and my steak was, like, negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So, what I'm trying to say is this series is good. It's mystery. It's a mystery series. It's a mystery series. And the horror part of it is, who is controlling these games? Where are the games coming from? Is it God? Is it some other force? Is it this person, this person? Who's working for the games? Is this person working for the games? Is this person working for the games? Is this person gonna betray me? Is this guy gonna betray me? You know? Like, so the series is changed that way. And they have different games too, where it's intellectual. This is just becoming a review of Alice in Borderland. It's not supposed to be a review of Alice in Borderland. This series is just good. Read it. If you want to get into the spooky genre, I guess. And for my final one, this one is more psychological. This one is more a personal series. It's more down to earth. It's more personal, down to earth. It's more of a realistic series. And this one, I think, is the most horrific series that all the ones I mentioned. This one will scare you. I mean, I don't know if it will scare you personally, but to the average person, this one will. You will feel uncomfortable while reading the series. You will feel intrigued. You will feel uncomfortable, and you will, because it feels so real. You know, like this could actually happen in real life. That series is Monster. Now, what I mean by that is basically the main character, he's a doctor, and he works on this kid, right, who wasn't actually supposed to be worked on or something. He got shot, right, and he worked on this kid, and basically he fixed the kid up, and now this kid is a psycho murderer, right? And the psycho murderer, and he's just a psycho murderer. He has like no feelings whatsoever. And sorry, I have to get into the mood. Basically, the series just follows around Dr. Kenma, who fixed him up. He just feels guilty about, you know, helping him out, even though he wouldn't have known anything. And he's trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to get rid of him, right? Because he is a psycho murderer, serial killer, whatever. First off, the art is beautiful. It's so gorgeous. And I actually got this recommended by someone. It was a stranger. She was just a stranger. In Barnes & Nobles. I was in Barnes & Nobles. And she was like, oh, what series do you want to read? I was like, oh, I was looking for something more horror. This was a year ago. I was looking for something more horror. I don't know, I just want to get something more horror. It's like, oh, how about read Monster? And I'm like, what the fuck is Monster? And she said Monster, and then another series, I forgot the name of it. So, when I went to Barnes & Noble the second time, I saw Monster on the shelf, and I was like, well, I don't remember the other series name, so I might as well pick up Monster, and I did, and thank God, thank you. I forgot your name. I think it was Jennifer, Sarah, it was something like that. I'm so sorry I forgot your name. Thank you for the manga recommendation. This series is so good. Like, holy shit. I did not know this series was going to be this good. Like, it's so... Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's so good. And I've only read the first volume. I haven't read the entire series. It's really good. Just the first volume. It immediately hooks you. It's another series you can't really put down. And the reason, it just feels so real. Like, there isn't any blood spatter. There isn't supernatural things happening. There's nothing. It's just this one psycho murderer that they gotta stop, who can't be stopped. And Johan is a brilliant villain, and just like the way he's portrayed as like this impending force is brilliant. And Dr. Kenma, he never stays out of character once, at least of what I read. And oh my god, it's just unsettling reading the story, because you get characters that like there's this one story where this girl is being stalked by someone, right? And like she's getting stalked by someone, and it was her older brother who, and then like they separated because he was in the hospital. She was fine, and it's terrifying to see, because you have her perspective on the story. So it just looks like this guy is stalking her for no reason, even though, yeah, it is her brother. She doesn't know that though, but we do. And the entire it's just like there are some supernatural elements to it, but the entire story feels like this could happen on the news. Like you could just hear about it on the news somewhere. Like I've talked about a bunch of horror series. If you don't get anything, just go watch someone else's video. I doubt someone else isn't doing another Halloween video in October. Probably they are. I don't know when though. I actually don't even know what day it is. I said October 8th or October 9th. I don't even forget what I said. I said October 8th, but it might not even be October 8th. I don't even know anymore. It might be September for all I know. So there's probably other people doing videos on manga recommendations, on spooky manga that you can read. Like if you didn't find a single series that was interesting to you, and what I said, go watch someone else's video. They probably read a lot more manga and a lot more interesting manga. I don't read a lot of horror manga. That's what happens. I don't read a lot of horror manga. Right? So, I mean, go read the classics like Junji Ito, Death Note. That's kind of a horror manga. I should put... No, Death Note's more of a psychological manga. It's not really horror. Besides, I like Monster more. I don't know. Just read Junji Ito. He's pretty good. I haven't read any of his stuff, but I've heard he's good. Alright. I cracked like one knuckle there. That's all I gotta say. Thank you and goodbye.